Coming up next on the CHGO Cubs Podcast, Tuesday, March 3rd edition, DH in the division. We're taking a deep dive into the Central's designated hitters. Where does Mo Baller rank? Plus, a pair of pitchers making us a little uncomfy. And D-Row, did he put together the dream team of baseball? CHGO Cubs next. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Podcast. It is 23 Ryne Sandberg days away from opening day for your Chicago Cubs. Luke Stuckmeyer and Joey Christopoulos with you. And we are also closing in on our spring training trip, baby. Just a couple of days, less than 48 hours till touchdown in the desert of Mesa. March 5th to March 8th, presented by Shady Rays. It's the CHGO road trip. And we are checking out spring training. There are still opportunities to come with us to see Cubs games at Sloan Park. We'll be there Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. There's a golf outing as well on Friday you can still go to. And don't forget, on Friday night, we are going to Pour Decisions, P-O-U-R, Decisions, in Scottsdale. We'll be there 7 to 10 for a meet and greet. There's a drink deal you can sign up to be a part of. There's going to be some food there. There's going to be a Q&A, and we're all just going to kind of hang out and talk Chicago sports. The Bulls guys will be there, so it's not even going to be just Cubs. You can talk any Chicago sports you want. If you want to talk about Drew Dalman retiring, we're willing to do that too. What on earth?
Do we have to?
Oh, man. Oh, man. But, Joey, before we go to spring training, we still have another big event. We have tomorrow's show and today's show, and we have the birthiversary, I like to call it. That's right. It's Chicago's birthday tomorrow. That is also the day we launched this network back in 2022, and we will have a pop-up shop with Free Agent, a collab with Free Agent. We're going to be at Leaders. It's right there on Madison Street. I think it's 1152 Madison. I'll be there at noon. Are you going at noon? What time are you going, Joey?
I think I'm going for the nooner, right? To get there right at the beginning. For the nooner.
These are
check out the fresh merch.
Yeah, limited edition, one-time pop-up shirt edition with Free Agent. And when they're out, they're out. When they're gone, they're gone. And so if you want to get them, tomorrow's the time, and we'll be there talking sports right on Madison from 2 till 7 p.m. tomorrow. Cubs crew will be there early in the day. Hi to everybody in the live YouTube chat. I see a lot of people already finding out about the retiring Drew Dalman story. That's another podcast, but yes.
But Luke, on the Cubs side, in the Cubs parlance, right? We just did it. This literally happened before we went live. And we were asking ourselves the question, in the land of Cubs, what is this equivalent to? A 27-year-old that just signed a huge contract, a huge part of the team, maybe not like the best player on the team, but clearly, like Chicago Bears, it's a sports town. We all know who the center is.
Critical to the offense. Like
a huge part of the turnaround, right? Like the guy that's protecting Caleb Williams' butt. Like, is there a Cubs comp for this? We threw out a couple of names. Which one do you think maybe makes sense? This isn't going to be apples to apples, but
if it was this year, I think the answer would have to be Bregman, because Bregman, like Dalman, had proven more than it's a combination of somewhere in between losing Bregman or losing Cabrera. But I would go towards the Bregman because center is so critical to a football team and a young quarterback. And I would pinpoint it, other than the coach, as the thing that turned the Bears around last year, right? Like the 3 offensive linemen in the middle. So it's brutal. It's brutal. I'm just guessing it's got something to do with maybe head injuries or health. So I hope he's okay. But for the Bears and Bears fans, it's difficult news. No question about it.
Right. The first one is obviously selfishly, I think about it from a Bears perspective, and I'm absolutely devastated. But when you pull back from it, right, like the first thing you think of is, Luke, you're right. You hope that he's stepping away now, not because of a major injury, but maybe a couple of things that he says to himself, man, I don't like where this is heading, right? I don't like where this is going. So if I can get out now, talk to Corey Wooten. Talk to Corey Wooten at CHGO. I've talked to him many, many times. It wasn't one thing or another thing, but he was like, man, surgeries are starting to pile up. I still have my health. I still feel great. Maybe now is the perfect time to get out. Like from a Cubs perspective, I was thinking this would be like Nico Horner signing an extension and a couple months later retiring, right? After in theory, a career year. In theory, the heart and soul of the lineup and the team, not the best player on the team, but really, really damn important. So, I mean, crazy news in Chicago, man. Crazy news.
Corey Seacrest says, reminds me of Luke Kuechly. That's a good one. The other reason I say Bregman, too, is we've waited for the Bears to fix center since Olin Kreutz.
20 years.
They finally fixed it. We've waited for the Cubs to fix third base since Chris Bryant, and they appear to have maybe finally done it this offseason. So that's another way that it's somewhat similar, but it's tough news. Hey, I did want to point out about that trip. People can still do the a la carte, and that's for anybody. If you live in Arizona and you just want to hang out and do some of those things, come on out to the meet and greet or the golf outing or go to a game with us. I just saw the weather, Joey. Okay. I just saw the weather. It's 4 full days we're there in the desert. High of 79, high of 71, high of 80, high of 86.
And that's not Kyle Hendricks. That's not Kyle Hendricks' fastball. That's the weather.
Is what that is.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
Sunday. I don't know who's buying the tickets for us, but we best be sitting in the shade on Sunday. I don't need heat stroke coming home on the plane.
No, we'll pull some strings. And that's it. So tomorrow we're going to celebrate CHGO's birthday over at Leaders with, as Luke would say, some sick drip. And then come on in, join us for the 2:00 show for a little Wild Thought Wednesday. You can't get ready for an Arizona trip without doing a little Wild Thought Wednesday.
That's true.
And then we're going to spend the weekend. And I was already looking at the schedule too, Luke. Another great incentive, I believe, Friday night when we do our hangout at Poor Decisions. If I know this correctly, I think it's USA Great Britain at 8:00 or 7:00
really?
Arizona time. So there's going to be some baseball on too as well. We get to watch Alex Bregman and PCA with the USA, the Stars and Stripes on their chest. We all get to do it together. So another reason to come and hang out.
Yeah, we're going to talk more World Baseball Classic a little bit later in the show, but that'll be the Scooble game.
I believe so.
The only Scooble game.
One night engagement.
All right, so the Cubs are in an exhibition game against Italy today. Meanwhile, Team USA is playing the Giants, I believe, in an exhibition game. And so the last couple of days, we've had a chance to see some pitchers that haven't done very well so far in spring. And so we're starting with our concernometer.
Yes.
Now, we both have said many times on this, don't worry about the results. And people on Twitter overreact to the results of Cactus League games. I remember Alfonso Soriano hitting like 450 with nonstop bombs, and then he couldn't get a hit for the first 5 weeks of the season. And, Tucker couldn't do it. Tucker had like 0 hits in the Cactus League last year, right? And we were all worried about it. It doesn't necessarily matter. In fact, we're talking about Tyone and we're talking about Shota Imanaga. We've talked about the depth yesterday with Justin, and he'll be back on the show again tomorrow. And right when things started in spring training, Tyone was like, okay, guys, see you later. I'm done now on this because you guys are overreacting to me working on something in a session, and go away. I can't take it. This is not good for my mental health. So the good news is Tyone is not on social media to see what's going on the last couple of days.
And he's going to pitch for Canada, Luke. He's going to pitch for Canada. So he's getting out of Dodge for a couple of days. You know what I mean?
It's so bad he's moved to Canada. No. The concernometer is this. Shota Imanaga 3 home runs in 2/3 of an inning the other day. And Jameson Taillon now has 6 homers in 6 innings in 3 appearances with an ERA almost at 20, 19.50. And I know, like, 3 appearances, ERAs are a ridiculous thing. I get it. So on your concernometer, where are you, Joey? Are you on the not concerned at all? Oh, I'm starting to pay attention. I'm average concernometer. I'm beyond average concernometer, or beep, 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 beep. Warning, warning, panic time, panic time.
Pull over. Well, look, on its face, no matter whether it's spring training or the regular season, you never want your pitcher to have the same ERA as like Modest Buzelis's points per game. Okay. I prefer not to have that. Okay.
You prefer it be more like Patrick Beverly or Patrick Williams. You prefer Patrick Williams.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I take it personally. Yeah. Cliff Livingston, shout out. So having said that, right, like that isn't preferred. I am very lax when it comes to veterans in spring training, and Jameson Taillon. If you believe anything about Jameson Taillon, specifically what he showed on the field in the regular season last year, is that he keeps adding different things to his game. So if I'm at least willing to shield or defend the narrative, right, that Jameson Taillon is adding new things to his game every single year and evolving as a pitcher, I think it's right to think that he might have a couple of bumpy ones early on, and maybe it's more about process than it is results. I want to take the same thing with Shota. The only difference, Luke, with Shota is that Shota is unfortunately chasing the ghosts of last season, right? I think he's chasing and trying to exercise the narrative of, the home run bug has really been emphasized with Cubs fans, that he gives up way too many home runs, and the fact that how poor he pitched in October, to the point where Shota Imanaga, all-star, frankly has something to prove a little bit this season. So you just don't like seeing the same narrative furthered and maybe flicked and picked at, you know what I mean? Like a scab straight off the bat in spring training, right? He's trying to prove people wrong and say the ghosts of the home run past are behind me. I'm going to have a great season. I'm going to bounce back. So that's the only part about it. I think Shota's maybe fighting against more of a narrative than the result that's happening right now. Maybe that's why he's a little bit higher on my concern meter. But I got to be honest, my concern meter's pretty low right now. We still have a lot of time left in spring training to get this ironed out.
Yeah, and as for Shota, the velo is up a little bit. So that shows that the injury is behind him, hopefully. And maybe he's just getting used to that. As for Taillon, and I may have the numbers wrong here, possibly off by a half point or something. So if Brendan sees this and wants to take me off the podcast, that's okay. But I believe he was like 1.1 home runs per 9 innings. And last year he was up to like 1.7, the highest of his career. Okay. And so if there was anything just like Shota, it's the home runs that we're worrying about. So 6 in 6 innings is not great. I'm barely from the not worried at all to the I've at least noticed it. And I think I'm only at the at least noticed it because we do this podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it wouldn't matter to me at all. Jameson Taillon, let's take him first. Taillon is the Ian Happ of the pitching staff. He's steady. His numbers will be there at the end of the season. He's going to have some really good games, and he'll have a couple games somewhere in the season where you go, bummer, he didn't have it today, or just like a Happ slump. I'm not worried about Taillon. He specifically told us he uses spring training to work on specific things. The guy finished the season doing what he does, and you can't ask any more than that. He was great when they needed him most in the postseason. As for Shota, his was an injury, so I just want to see that the guy's healthy. And I guess the flip side is true. If they both were 6 innings, no runs, 9 strikeouts, I'd be like, ooh, I might
save it.
I'm more likely to get excited by something like that than I am to get worried about somebody having a bad spring, especially a pitcher. So my concernometer is out of 1 to 10, 1.5, a 2. You're not looking at either guy being in the top 3 of the rotation possibly. So doesn't bother me at all right now.
Yeah, I know we're pushing up on a break, so I do have a couple more thoughts on Shota.
Okay.
I feel like just in general of what he probably needs to try and accomplish, maybe just for himself, his own peace of mind, and probably for Cubs' peace of mind too, as well, as he enters into what's going to be a prove-it season, because again, he's going to be a free agent. So Luke, if it's cool, man, let's take a quick break here on the CHGO Cubs podcast. Let's hear from some of our wonderful partners. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 minutes. We're coming right back.
Hey, what if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 straight years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even know you might have them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense, and lets you stream the game even while the rest of the family is online doing something else. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part about it. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment is included. Take it from me, a lot could change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken. You don't want that to happen with your Wi-Fi. That's something you want to know where it's at. Lock in your price, unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only, restrictions apply.
You know, Luke, I don't know about you, but like I'm personally over winter. But is winter over the greater Chicagoland area? And that's why you got to ask yourself the question, is your home's heating up for the challenge? And if you have a plumbing emergency, what do? You call Four Seasons. If you have an electrical emergency, what do? You call Four Seasons and need a new hot water tank installed today. You call Four Seasons because right now is the time to schedule your Four Seasons furnace tune-up. And if you're looking for a whole home generator, they've got you covered because at Four Seasons, they guarantee same-day installation for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, sewer, and generator needs. With no extra cost for nights, weekends, or holidays, right now you can save up to $4,000 on furnaces and comfort systems, and furnaces that start at $39 a month, or furnace AC combo starting at $57 a month. So call today. Save that $50 from your trusted local experts. It's Four Seasons Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. They've been serving the Chicagoland area for over 50 years. So check them out today. Go to fourseasonsheatingcooling.com.
Back on the CHGO Cubs podcast, we're going to get to Joey's final comments here on Shota versus Tyone. Concernometer. Yes, we're saying hi to Barb out there. Yes, Barb, we are live. And Barb says she thinks I look a little blurry. That's intentional, Barb. Only you will get this reference. I now have the Barbara Walters soft focus on my camera. The older I get, I've decided no makeup anymore for the television. Just give me this soft focus like Barbara Walters. It takes like 5 years off your look to just kind of blur everything out a little bit. Instagram's picked up on that too.
I'm going to try and do it, Luke. Here's my Barbara Walters impression. Shota, why all the whammies? Why all the home ones? How'd that go?
Literally, I think 5 people that will listen to this will understand our Barbara Walters references.
That was must-see TV, Luke.
She was the one.
The soft focus, the flowers everywhere, and her asking just like literally just sticking it in the ribs and twisting questions.
That's right.
You know
I like
mean?
a good walk-up song when I come on the show, and I like a blurry camera. Sometimes I just take a little Vaseline and put it on the screen just to make sure everybody, you can tell it's me, but not really. It's a new way of doing things. All right. So you got some other thoughts on the concernometer. We both say, listen, everybody simmer down, relax. But what do you got on Shota?
Well, I think it's important that I'm not trying to be dismissive of Cubs fans' feelings if they're worried, right? I am trying to assuage and tamp down a little bit that it still is early. He's going to get a lot more run, and honestly, they have to build their pitch count up. So he's just going to probably have to just work through some of these issues that he's having. The first thing I would say, just really quickly, is that do a quick exercise, Cubs fans, and in 5 seconds, tell me what the ERA for Shota Imanaga was last spring training. 4, 3, 2, 1. If
7.
you can't think of it, ooh, wow, was it 7?
I don't know.
Are you right? I don't know either. That's what I'm saying. If you can't do that exercise in 5 seconds, at least take that and say to yourself, spring training, I know it's happening in the moment right now. We're excited about this season, but everything that happens in spring doesn't mean it's going to happen in the regular season. The only other thing that I would defend is the 3 home runs that he gave up to. I know it's the White Sox, so just hear me out. 1, Edgar Caro is the hottest hitter in spring training right now. Austin Hayes, I thought that pitch was okay. It was a little bit up, but it was outside on the it was on the outer edge. Austin Hayes took it opposite field. Frankly, the ball travels faster in Arizona, whatever excuse that you want. I thought that was a decent pitch. And then the Braden Montgomery one, I think that's the one that Shota now needs to really drill in on. Like that high fastball, and I get it. It was 94. The gun looked good right now at Sloan Park, but that's the pitch right there that he gave up to Braden Montgomery. That's the one where Shota says mentally, maybe in the offseason, he says, I'm going to bounce back. I know what went wrong. I'm healthy. Mechanically, I know what to do. But I think sometimes spring training is also important for players to realize I still have a ways to go. I still have something to work on. And I think in that moment right there, I think that was just a great humbling moment for Shota Imanaga that, yeah, if he's feeling confident, if he's feeling healthy, that's great. But now he needs to take that onto the field. And sometimes, again, location is so important with Shota Imanaga. So I think there's a life lesson. There's a learning lesson in all this. So sometimes Shota struggling early in the spring might be a great thing that happens to him. It might be a precursor of more bad things to come. We're going to find out. But just because someone's playing poorly doesn't always mean that that's going to be the end result. That could also mean a wake-up call to Shota of, hey, I got to be on this stuff. I don't want to Xerox what happened last season. So I need to nip it in the bud right now, and hopefully that's what's going to happen.
The only time I personally worry about stuff like this, especially like this early, I mean, we just started March. You have the whole month of March to play more Cactus League games and have more appearances. The only time you get like 2 or 3 of these in a row and I start to worry is then when the guy is not making his next start, knock on wood, because there's a sore shoulder or a tweak in this, or the oblique is a little sore, so we're going to take a couple days off. Then I start to worry about the pitcher. But just poor results in the spring training game, whatever. That's just how I feel. You don't have to feel that way. You Cub however you want to Cub. All right, so the World Baseball Classic. They're playing Team Italy today. Mike Piazza batting cleanup for Team Italy, I believe, in this one. Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. But I ask you this. Has Mark DeRosa, former Cub, D-Row, has he put together the dream team version of baseball, or at least the closest thing we've seen to a dream team in baseball? Look at this.
It's damn close. Go ahead. Yeah, rip it off.
Is Bobby Witt leading off, Bryce Harper batting second, Aaron Judge third, Kyle Schwarber fourth. Judge Schwarber is a tough combo to face at 3-4. Then it's Cub, Alex Bregman. Then it's the big thumper, whatever you want to call him, Roman Anthony, Byron Buxton, Bryce Terang, and Skeens on the mound. That's a pretty good team. Now, I would replace Buxton with a little Pete Crow Armstrong, but anytime you've got Cal Raleigh batting sixth, you got yourself a pretty good lineup. I would say the lineup is close to Dream Team, but the Dream Team was, I don't know, the Dream Team was all time. Like, I would say the pitching staff is not Dream Team because Skubal's pitching one game. But I did appreciate some of the stuff guys said, and I don't know if Sarah has this ready, but we have both Bregman and PCA before they left Cubs camp to go to practice with Team USA. And at first it's Pete Crow Armstrong talking about the opportunity to go play on Team USA and why he decided to go do that and leave Cubs camp for a while. That's all right. Anyways.
well, wait for it. I want to just weigh in just really quickly. So just the Dream Team in 92, right? Like there's a confluence of events there that I just don't think you can't just bottle that up and just make it happen. Like in 92, a lot of people could argue that maybe the NBA was at like the apex of its sport with the apex player on its team, with also all of them 10, 11, 12 Hall of Famers. Now, just reading that lineup down right there, I can make a good argument that maybe half of that lineup right now might be Hall of Fame bound. I could make a compelling argument, which would probably fly in the face of my current very, very highly publicized NL Central rankings, that maybe Nico Horner at second base instead of Bryce Terang. You can make an argument whether he'd be better off there, right? But it's pretty damn close. And I'm just trying to think of different eras. Like, I know everyone always knocks the 97, 98, 90, 99 era is very steroid riddled. But at the same time, 97, 98, 99, if you put together a WBC that had Ken Griffey Jr. on it and Derek Jeter and Cal Ripken, and you know what I mean? Like, it'd been a pretty damn good team too as well. I just think it's really fun that not only are they all saying yes, and you can look at that lineup and feel really great about it and say, wow, that is just heavy hitter after heavy hitter after heavy hitter. But also you could just tell from the players that they're highly invested in it right now. And they want to go out there to compete, and they want to go out there and win. I know everyone worries about injuries, but on the flip side of that, getting committed to something that has nothing to do with your actual regular season can be a galvanizer. And it could be one of those weird tone setters that just really gets that focus in a little bit earlier on in the year. And I think some of these guys, like Alex Bregman, might come out of the chute rocking and rolling and on fire because of this experience. Pete Crow Armstrong certainly is going to learn something from this experience, and hopefully those experiences are just positive.
Yeah, Mark DeRosa said it wasn't that hard to actually put this roster together because the first guy he went to was Aaron Judge last March, and Judge was like, I'm in. And he's like, okay, so I've got my position player that's going to start recruiting other guys, and when they see Aaron Judge is on the team, they're going to want to be part of the team. And then he had a pitch ready for Paul Skeens, and he went to Skeens, and Skeens stopped him halfway into like his first sentence. It was like, I want to represent the men and women in our service and their families and putting on themselves on the line. I want to do it for all of them. I'll be there. I'm playing. And he talked about, and I don't know this was necessarily part of the dream team. I would assume it was, but it was the greats want to be around the other greats, and what can you learn from somebody else that is elite at the same thing that you're doing? So here's that Pete Crow Armstrong soundbite. Our guy, Jared Willis, got it when he was at spring training last week. And just before PCA and Bregman left, this is Pete Crow Armstrong in Mesa.
Exciting stuff. I'm obviously going to miss the fellas here for a couple weeks, but it's special. This is obviously something new for me, and I just feel very lucky that I get to experience something like this. So, I'm ready to play some real meaningful baseball and just go wear those colors. I haven't done it for some years, and getting to do it at the highest stage is going to be special.
And of course, as Joey mentioned, it's not just Cubs players playing on Team USA. We got Canada. We got Assad there. And I didn't notice this. Obviously D-Rose, the former Cub. Who's the other former Cub on the coaching managerial staff for Mark DeRosa?
Oh, I'm blanking. What is it? I give up.
Bullpen coach, David Ross.
Oh,
Rossi is the bullpen coach. So that was
that's awesome.
Yeah. So all right, let's hear from a different perspective. Now this is Alex Bregman on why he chose to go play for Team USA.
I've always loved watching the Olympics every year, so it's always fun to root on Team USA. And like I said, it's such an honor to be able to put on the Stars and Stripes. So looking forward to getting in there and getting started tomorrow with our first practice and being around the guys.
You look at that Team USA roster, anybody in particular that you're excited to be teammates with for a little while?
Every single one of them. It's a really good roster. Obviously, a lot of guys I've been fortunate enough to play against now for a while and looked up to for a while, and admired the way they played. So I'm excited about it.
You feel good about the
All right, we're going to take a quick break. That was Alex Bregman. We'll talk briefly more about that, and then we're going to dig into some more interesting stuff, including where does Mo Baller rank in the division's DH hitters. It's coming up next on the CHGO Cubs podcast.
Hey, Luke. Opening day is right around the corner, and I got to tell you, I got myself the perfect routine, just like a Major League Baseball player. Here's what it is. I wake up, I exercise, and then when I got to get a meal on the go and get into the office, I grab myself, that's right, some Huel. That's right. It is delicious Huel. It's $5 in just a meal. And here's the best part. Whether it's a chaotic morning, if you have to skip a meal, after your workout, you got to run and you got to meet up some friends. That's right. Huel is that meal right in a bottle, and it's absolutely delicious. I got the chocolate right here. And also for after, get your electrolytes back with the Daily Greens. This is the peach and hibiscus. Absolutely tasty. It's got 35 grams of protein, 27 essential minerals, and vitamins, no artificial sweeteners, gluten-free, and again, under $5 per meal. So here's what you got to do. Go check out Huel today and use our code for 15% off. Use the code CUBS15, CUBS15 for new customers only. Thank you, Huel, for partnering and supporting our show. Remember, Huel, it is a game changer.
Jojo, you know that moment, the one where you realize you left your favorite sunglasses at the beach or on the roof of your car or at a gas station 3 states away? Yeah, me too. I've been there. Little kids, I sit on my sunglasses. My kids tear apart my sunglasses. I drop them off a boat, off a golf cart. It's a disaster. But I found Shady Rays, and it changed the game. These are sunglasses made for real life. Seriously good looking, polarized, durable, and not stupid expensive. And here's the wild part. If you lose or break them, even on day one, Shady Rays is going to send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now I wear my sunglasses without fear on hikes, at the golf course, at concerts, on the boat, around the kids, in the car, wherever. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. Go to shadyrays.com and right now use our new promo code CHGOSR. CHGOSR for 40% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. I think I caught Joey off guard with the JoJo. He was a little surprised with
I liked it.
I think he was like, did he just call me JoJo?
Yeah,
I did. I threw it out there just to see how it went,
College buddies, friends and family. I get a lot of JoJos. So
you do get some JoJos. I didn't know that.
And no, I liked it. Meant a lot. And I'll be honest, you definitely have the Barbara Walters lighting going on. I don't know what it was earlier.
Listen, I cleaned the screen on my computer about a week ago.
Okay.
And I think maybe the lens isn't quite clear. Barb was worried about that. I see that. Yes, Barb. And Sarah is producing. It's not Sarah's fault. It's probably me. If there's a technical difficulty, generally it's my fault. But in this case, I think it's sort of beneficial to everybody. I'm looking at it on my phone. It looks much better on my phone than it does on my laptop.
That's what matters.
The screen is smaller.
Yeah, watch it on the phone, folks. You're probably better off.
And if you're listening in podcast form, you don't care if I'm blurry or not. This is just the Vaseline lens. That's what we call it. A little coat of the Barbara Walters Vaseline. It takes all the wrinkles off your face. So anyways, yeah, I'm looking forward to the World Baseball Classic. I kind of don't think it's going to be as good as it was in 23 when they had the great finish and it was like Ohtani coming down and the big showdown at the plate. And I was like, I don't think it'll be that good. That might be the pinnacle of international baseball play, but it's more exciting than a Cactus League game, isn't it?
So I'll say this before. Yeah, absolutely. And I will say this before I start watching this thing, probably like through my fingers, just hoping everyone stays healthy, because I think that's the Cubs. That's a Cubs fans' first and foremost thought with this WBC is, hey, man, on the CHGO Cubs podcast, I'm just going to say it. This is what makes baseball the best, man. And here it is. Look at the NBA All-Star game, all right? I love the NBA, okay? But you can ramp it down to the part where the competition is half speed, 40%. The NFL, just because of the nature of the violence and the fact that you're going in it every single play 100%, you literally can't get a collection of the best of the best and really put them all together and say, what if we had the best 2 quarterbacks and the best 2 wide receivers and the best 2 running backs? You can't have that. Hockey's sort of the same, right? I mean, you saw it in the gold medal game, right? You can ratchet it up, but in an all-star game too as well, you can also ramp it down. In baseball, whether it's an all-star game, whether it's a WBC, whatever it is, if you don't show up and show out with your best, you're going to get embarrassed. Those are the rules. That's baseball, right? Baseball has a very odd way of making it very, very fair. And my final thing on this is for Pete Crow Armstrong. When you put yourself with a collection of incredibly talented people, and yes, there are some future Hall of Famers on that roster right now, just being around them and see them go about their business and being a part of that competition can only be good for a player who we think is going to have a superstar season, who Michael Cerami yesterday said he thinks he's going to have a 30 for 30 year. It's all sitting out there for PCA. So these are, again, more good things in the maturation of a young player's career that we hopefully turns into that 10-15, hopefully turns into that future Hall of Famer. So I'm all for it. This is what makes baseball the best, because you can't fake it. You can't turn it down. You gotta bring it.
Yeah, Alex Bregman talking about how maybe you just want to go there and get 1% better. Can it make you 1% better going into this season? And Mark DeRosa said, I think he's underestimating it, actually. Like, being around this group, you're going to get more than 1% better. And I think it's more impactful, especially for somebody like Pete Crow Armstrong, more than it is Bregman, who's been there, done that, and been around it. I would say that it's a great opportunity for PCA. So let's get to the DH. That's the final thing we haven't done, correct? To figure
the last one
out where the Cubs rank at DH. And Godfather gets very mad because we've put the Cubs number 1 or number 2 in every category, I think, or close to it, right? And some of them have been pretty good categories. Today is designated hitter in the National League Central. And we always like to start at number 5 and at the bottom, frankly, because this should go on forever. Number 5 is the team. I think they're in St. Louis, and I think for $30 they're giving you all the food and drink you can handle at a ball game this year, because their team is going to be so putrid that they're basically giving you free food to sit and watch it. And they figure that you're probably going to hork up some of that food if you're one of the fans of that team. So that's beautiful. It doesn't matter who's their DH, because the St. Louis Cardinals are irrelevant. Fair to say? Anything else I need to say there?
We were told there's a 5th team in the National League Central this year. We've pushed back on it. We sent it to all the fact checkers.
Right. I thought it was the Iowa Cubs.
We think there's a team?
No. I thought it was the Iowa Cubs. I was like, wow, the Cubs are going to put 2 teams in the same division.
Very good. Which, so 5th is some team that's irrelevant, that's, paying people to eat their food. Congratulations to them.
All right, who's number 4?
All right, Luke, here's the real talk, right? Number 4 is our guy, Moisés Ballesteros.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
I mean, look,
right.
And so here's the deal, and we're going to break down who the top 3 are. But I think, in my opinion, at this time, I think he's a young player who I like a lot, right? I mean, this is a guy who has an offensive hit tool that I don't think anyone is going to say that, doesn't have a ton of potential. I mean, this dude, all he does is hit. He had 2 hits the other day, right? So everything seems to be checking out just fine. But this is one of those moments in a player's career where, frankly, I don't think he has earned the benefit of the doubt just yet. And I think, as a Cubs fan, I think we have to be honest and objective with ourselves. And I think it's fine, personally, to say, you know what? I think Moisés Ballesteros is the 4th, or maybe even, honestly, the 5th best DH in the NL Central right now, because hopefully by season's end, we go, wow, I think he's now a top 2 guy. Or maybe now he's a top 1 guy. Look at how he's grown. Look at where we've started. Look at where we're here. So I'm not here to just anoint Moisés Ballesteros as the second coming of whatever. The dude has to go out there and produce. Zips has him right around, I think, an OPS right around 750, 760, which is, major league average is about 700. So they're pegging him to be an above average player with a nice high batting average. But if you look at just who's number 3 on this list, the Pittsburgh Pirates, honestly, they did a little nice piece of business. And at number 3, they brought in designated hitter Marcell Ozuna. a guy who, let's be honest, has had some off-field issues in the past, but a guy who just more proven, hit 21 bombs last year, advanced age, but still had an OPS of about 760, and is coming off a 2023 and a 2024 of an OPS over 900 in both of those seasons, 30 plus home runs in both. The dude is a mercenary. He's a DH that just goes out and hits bombs, and he provides offensive production. So I'm sorry, but Moisés Ballesteros has to prove that he can be the Marcell Ozuna before he gets past Marcell Ozuna.
Fair. The only way, and we're only doing one player, but the only way I would think that Mo Baller or the Cubs could or should be higher on this list than number 4, which is right where they belong right now, is that we don't know for sure that Mo Baller is really just the DH. It could be a straight combo of Mo Baller and Seiya. Okay. So if Seiya's added into the mix at DH, because we get a lot of Matt Shaw playing right field, as we've heard from the manager, now you're looking at, when you add in Seiya, you add in last year's 245, 32 homers, 103 RBI, and 140 hits. Take Mo Baller off the list with all that potential, but nothing proven, and add in the proven player last year, who should have been an all-star, and just with Seiya, you would be on, when you go through this list in the division, you'd be second in batting average, second in homers, second in hits, and tied for second in RBI. So there's an argument to be made that the Cubs combo is much higher than number 4, but I think it's fair to say that Ballesteros by himself, basically totally unproven, except for minor league stats, he's 4th, and of course the Cardinals are relevant at 5th. Great chance to move up, especially if you want to count that Seiya might be doing a lot of this DH too, right?
Yeah, 100%. And again, this is a part of the mix of what's going to make the Chicago Cubs hopefully special this year, where Matt Shaw is going to play himself into a role in right field. And yes, Seiya Suzuki will be DHing. I don't know what the pie chart looks like, right? But if you're trying to push Moisés Ballesteros and he's going to hit his way into the lineup, I can just tell you with certainty that Moisés Ballesteros, I think, is going to slot in as a DH more often than not, where Seiya might be a little bit more of a split skis, which I think is fair. So at number 3, I had Marcell Ozuna. At number 2, I had Eugenio Suarez from the Reds. And I think that's fair too. A guy that, look, we had him on a couple lists too as well, as possibly a guy that might play third base, might play a little first base. But again, I think he's going to see the lion's share at DH. And this is a guy who had 49 homers last year. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to put Moisés Ballesteros ahead of him. And then of course we have, but I want to kind of cut into what you just said, because now I think this is what gets fascinating, right? I had Christian Yelich as number 1. If you could, Luke, I know you kind of you talked about it just a little bit there, but if you could, if Seiya had to be on this list, is Seiya ahead of Christian Yelich in your opinion, or does Christian Yelich still maybe hold a little bit of an edge in that ranking if Seiya had to go somewhere on that 1 through 4, and we're not counting 5, because I think there's a 5th team, but nothing really comes to mind.
No, I mean, Seiya by himself last year hit 3 more home runs than Yelich. He had the same amount of RBI.
And 103,
he's
right?
Just below, right? He's right there in hits. His batting average is right there. I think, I personally, if you can get, yes, I think if Seiya were the one in the DH, I think there'd be an argument for Seiya over Yelich at this point in his career. Those 3 are really interesting to me. I believe Ozuna's best days are behind him, but he's still a good ball player. It's really that we don't know what we're going to get out of Moisés Ballesteros. We're not 100% sure out of what we're going to get in that player. I could make an argument that Gino Suarez should be at the top, depending on what you really, really value in your DH. If what you value in your DH is thump that you don't have in the rest of your lineup, 49 homers is pretty hard to argue against, right? Like he's head and shoulders in the power category above everybody else. He does that better than any other DH in the division. But you also have to look at some of the other things he does and say, all right, the most well-rounded player is either Yelich and or Seiya if he's the DH. But because Mo Baller has the we're not sure yet, I can't put the Cubs ahead of the Brewers. I certainly have to have Gino Suarez above them. And I think you can make an argument for the consistency of Marcell Ozuna ahead of Mo Baller and Seiya because of the inconsistency of a player that's not proven yet. But for everybody that wants to look at it and say, wow, okay, the Brewers are number one at DH. Look at Christian Yelich. You know, it's sort of in the eye of the beholder, right? Yelich is not the player he used to be, obviously. Back injuries will change anybody. But when you look at his stat line and then you look at Pete Crow Armstrong, and some teams around the division and skeptics around baseball would look at it and say, Pete Crow Armstrong, he had one good half and then he was a bum in the second half. And they forget about the second half of the previous year. And they forget that he was actually MVP type level the first half of the season. And you look at it and say, now, wait a minute. Yelich hit 29 home runs. Pete Crow Armstrong hit 31 last year. Yelich had 151 hits. Pete Crow Armstrong had 146. He's right there. And there you're comparing a DH to the best defensive player potentially in all of baseball. So for all the people that want to celebrate that Yelich is number one on this list, at least for now, I would say, yeah, but you have to put it in perspective. Like, everything has to be in perspective. Yes, I put in perspective that Pete Crow Armstrong struggled in the second half, but I also see it sandwiched by a great half and another really good half. And I can say, okay, I'm willing to bet on that player having a really good season. And I think we all are. Michael Cerami said 30-30. Okay. I think the Cubs DH has a chance to be number one or number two on this list by the end of the season. I don't think Ozuna is going to age real well, even though I like the addition for the Pirates. And I don't necessarily know that Suarez is going to do I don't know that he's going to hit 49 home runs this year. Yeah. I don't, but I like that addition for that team too. And Yelich, anybody with a back problem like that, I don't know. So it's not like there aren't questions ahead of him.
When we talk about Cubs players and the health bug and the giant letters IF, Christian Yelich's are like, what's the font size? 120, 130? For real though.
Lay off the font size. Some of us depend on it.
Get the cheaters out there. Get the cheaters out. I think he had a nice bounce back season last year. Having said that, though, I was not scared of Christian Yelich for one nanosecond of the NLDS. 1 nanosecond. Sal Frelick, for crying out loud, was probably keeping me up more. Like Ortiz was keeping me up more probably than Christian Yelich. And I would say if you had to put Seiya Suzuki onto this ranking, I am putting Seiya Suzuki number one because I think of that health factor. And if you kind of look at, Christian Yelich had two incredible seasons, like what was that, 5 or 6 years ago. And ever since then, it's been injuries. In 2024, he hit over 300. He hit 315, but he only played 73 games. So there's a whole lot of caveats that comes with Christian Yelich. The conversation that I'm sort of thinking about with Moisés Ballesteros is he's number 4 on this list right now, Luke. But I think this is the one list that we have where it's wide open.
Agreed.
Where of all the lists that we've made, of all the lists that we've made, and this is the final one that we're doing, I think easily this 1 through 4 can be switched, flipped out, substituted, moved around, however you want to call it by season's end. And Moisés Ballesteros has an opportunity to, climb up that rank. I think he should, by season's end, be ahead of Marcell Ozuna. I think he could maybe even be on par with Eugenio Suarez because, frankly, the player's just getting a little bit older. I just want to get your perspective on, from a Cubs fan perspective, and maybe just from a production standpoint, because of all the players Moisés Ballesteros needs to hit. That's the bottom line. So from a production standpoint, Luke, like, what are you projecting in your mind, or what would you dream about that would say, man, I'd be really, really satisfied about this? Because again, when we've talked about the Cubs lineup before, if this Cubs team is a regular season locomotive,
yeah,
and at the deadline, you're like, man, could we add offense? Where would we add offense? Frankly, it will be up to Moisés Ballesteros to hold them off from going out to finding the mercenary to hit DH, or maybe the catcher position. So we know Mo Baller doesn't have a ton of power, but what is there a stat? Is it batting average? Is it runs batted in? Is it extra base hits? Is there a number out there that says, man, if Moisés Ballesteros gives us this year, I'm going to feel really confident about him moving forward?
Or I was going to say, what two numbers would it take to move him up the list out of fourth? Or the combo of him and Seiya just in DH at bats. So not like you're not including Seiya's production as a right fielder. You just the days that he plays DH, and you stick those numbers and you add them to whatever you get from Ballesteros, because his are mostly going to come as DH, not a catcher. We all know that. What would the number take? What if you could combine the two of them together? And I don't know how much Seiya is going to DH, but what if you could combine the two together to bat 250 and hit 20 home runs between the two of them? 25 home runs between the two of them. More? I guess listen, if Seiya's playing it a lot, those numbers are definitely, I think, creeping towards that, which would move him up the list. If it's just let's say
25 is good. Yeah.
25?
Yeah, I think 25 is a good number, but 20, I would anticipate a little bit more.
What if it was just Mo Baller? What if we're just putting his production this year and he's at the end of the season? You say, well, we're not going to count Seiya as a DH because he only did it 16 times during the season.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he can hit 20 home runs?
So for me, Niren's got a great one in the chat. Good to see you, Niren. Thanks for coming into the live show. I know you're a supporter, but we always appreciate having your comments here. Runners in scoring position numbers. I think that's a number that would mean something to me. Now, I'm not saying hit 350, but if you're a guy in the second half of the lineup and you're somewhere in the 260 to 290 range with runners in scoring position, you're getting the job done, bat on ball, you're here for offense, you're doing that. I would like that a lot. The number for me, Luke, isn't home runs, but if I said over under 32.5 extra base hits, I would like the over.
Yeah.
And whatever that means to you, if that's 14 home runs and 20-ish doubles, give me that, right? If it's 15 home runs, 20, something along those lines, because I think what you're going to want from Moisés Ballesteros, who has not the best speed in the world or whatever, but I just want to see him hitting the ball hard. And I want to see him turn it into a doubles machine. I think that would be great. Not so concerned about the power. Don't need him to hit 20. A lot of people haven't projected it even in the 10 to 15 area, which is fine. But give me the extra base hits. Give me the runners in scoring position. I think those two factors is going to give me a lot of confidence about Mo Baller this year.
I like Niren's numbers too. 16 homers, 75 RBI. And I know RBI is an old-fashioned number, but I think where he's going to bat,
young player, get it done.
You can sit and debate. I've seen people debating it in the last 24 hours. Should he be in the top 5 of the order? Should he be, let's wait and see. And I think this year, if you said 16 homers, 75 RBI, that'd be a season I'd be happy with. Now, the asterisk, we only have 5 minutes left, but the little star I would put next to this would be what I'm okay with this year from Mo Baller, and hopefully his first full season with a lot of DH, might be a much lower mark than what I'd be okay with next year for Mo Baller. Like, I would want to see a big jump next year. It doesn't have to be that guy this year. What you're saying, extra base hits, and he only hits 14 home runs or 13 home runs, but he's got a nice batting average and he hits a lot of doubles. Okay. But then the following year, if he's just going to be a DH and not a catcher or a backup first baseman, then I want the numbers to be even higher. Like, if this guy's strictly going to be bat for hire, then his second full season, I've got to see a pretty big jump, because I don't want a slap singles guy necessarily. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want Luis Arraez batting as my DH, that type of player. I love a high batting average. I do, but I want more power out of my DH. And so I'm hoping that this season will be whatever home runs. And then next season, Mo Baller, you just give me 20 out of the DH, I'm good.
Hey, Chef Kevin Penner. Yes, Chef. Bregman just homered for Team USA. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
He's already 1% better than he was a week ago.
Thank you. Yeah, get that 1%, Bregman. Not to derail, but I had to just throw that out there. Look, no, Luke, I completely agree with you, right? And on this show, it is not double talk to say I don't care about Nico Horner's power, but I'm gonna care about Moisés Ballesteros' power, right? Like, Nico Horner does so many different positions, different
plays
players,
defense,
right?
Does everything else. Mo Baller's paid to hit. He's
one job.
Paid to hit. Yeah.
One job, my man. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm cool with it this year. I just want to see his hit instincts in the lineup. And I do have confidence that he's going to play really well this year. So there are some markers and some numbers that I would like to see him hit that's going to make me feel good about it, right? I will tell you something, though, right now. I know we only have a couple minutes left. I don't want to step on it too hard, but like, if Moisés Ballesteros is hitting 260, but he's got like 4 home runs at the All-Star break, I hate to break it to you, I think the rumors of the Cubs looking at an Eugenio Suarez of last year, some more thump at the DH position, I think we will hear those rumors at that time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm with you. He can't be John Olerud out there or Luis Arraez or whatever it is. He's going to have to hit the ball, hit it with authority, get some extra bases, whether it is doubles or home runs. And then next year, I'm in agreement with you. He's got to increase the power. Yeah.
Or they may look and say, well, Matt Shaw's got 12. He's real good defensively. We could put Seiya back to DH and put Shaw on right and just go with that for most of the games. I don't know what the mix is going to be, but you mentioned the 2 names that matter, Nico Horner and Mo Baller. If Nico Horner's here long-term and we're going to sign him to an extension or a new deal, if your second baseman's not going to have much power and your third baseman's starting to have declining power and you're not seeing it all over the field, you got to get it out of your DH, especially a DH who really doesn't have a position at this point. So it's a lot of pressure on a young player, I think. But I do feel like he's up to the task, and we'll see how it all plays out. Tomorrow's show, 2:00. But again, remember that at noon, we will be at Leaders. I believe it's 1152 Madison for our birthiversary, Chicago's birthday, and the anniversary of CHGO, 12:00. We're going to be there. Guys will be there till 7. Some guys, different on-air people popping in and out. It's a pop-up shop, limited edition with free agent. We got a shirt. We got a long sleeve. It is sweet, but when they're gone, they are gone. So come out and see us tomorrow at noon. And again, don't forget, we're closing in on the trip. One more show now before we go to the CHGO Spring Training Road Trip presented by Shady Rays, March 5th to the 8th. You can still get some of the a la carte services out there. We're going to 3 Cubs games. We've got a golf outing you can sign up for. If you like just baseball in general, there's even a Sox game you can go to with Sean Anderson. The Bulls guys are going to be out there. The Bulls game is sold out to go with us, but the big thing is the meet and greet on Friday as well. We're going to hang out. Happy hour deal, Poor Decisions, Scottsdale will be there. And we're going to talk Chicago sports. And rumor is we're going to have some Lance Briggs sightings out there too. We're going to hang.
Hopefully we'll see
with the double nickel. All right. I'm ready for tomorrow. I am ready for this. And I'm ready for a little sunshine, Joey. And tomorrow, Justin joins us. Well, we're talking more baseball. You know what? Tomorrow we're going to have to hit on this Jerks and Profar cheater guy. And the what it means, I'll tease this now, what it means to the rankings in the National League overall. Where were the Braves, and how does that impact the Braves, and how does it impact moves that still will happen between now and the trade deadline? because you would think the Braves would now be looking. And we'll attack that tomorrow on the CHGO Cubs podcast. Yes, Braggs is coming along, Barb. He will be there. I will be in full focus with my sunscreen on, SPF 85. But until then, see you tomorrow, hopefully at Leaders, then on the podcast at 2. Thanks for watching, and fly the W.
USA!
We all silly like the